Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That was a weak slap to the Sam's Movies YouTube channel. The Saint Sam YouTube channel. Wow, what a riveting start. I'm telling you another tennis story here because I'm on break from my main channel and I figured, why not? I have some tennis stories to tell and I figured I should get them all out of the way before I have no more left. Yes, so I have another tennis story. It's only from last year, so it's pretty recent. But it's an insane story. So join me down this rabbit hole as I go through the craziest season I've ever been involved with. The worst, probably, actually. Yeah. So last season, I finally decided to start playing winter competition tennis, team tennis. For the first time in a couple of years. I hadn't played since high school, and last year I just figured, why not? You know, I'm not really doing anything with my life, and I wasn't last year, and I still am not really. Far out. But I figured, why not? You know, it's worth doing, and I wasn't really great at tennis back then. I still aren't great at tennis, but I still aren't. It wasn't a good time for me playing tennis. I just couldn't really get my game together. The first half of the season I did okay. You know, I won a lot of 3-set matches. I think I only won one match in straight sets. It was a grind. And then the second half of the season was a different story. It was not good. No, it wasn't. It was terrible. But the team was struggling as well. We were playing in the men's section 2, which sounds like, oh yeah, section 2, that's not that hard. But there were some bloody good players and some bloody good teams, and we always lost 2-1. You know, we always just lost the day. I don't know what happened. We were on the cusp of winning so many doubles matches, you know, which would have given us the win for the day, and we just couldn't do it. And so I think it was round 13 or 14. It was round 13 because there's like 14 home and away rounds. We had 3 wins and 8 losses, I'm pretty sure. And like a couple of draws because of rainouts or something. It was a shocker. It was a terrible season we were putting together. I don't really know what went wrong. We just kept losing 2-1 by the barest of margins, and 2-1's enough, you know, to not get the points and not win the matches. So it was a tough season for the team I was in, and I was doing very poorly in my singles in the second half. The first half, I was kind of the only person winning a rubber, and then the second half, I was the only person not winning a rubber. So that was great fun. And I was grossly out of form. I don't know what happened there, but we go into this match and we've only got 2 wins for the season. It's just horrific season, and it's like round 12 or round 11, I think, almost at the end of the season. I think it's round 12 actually, and we've just got to go on this perfect stretch of form. And we go into this place, and I mentioned in my last video telling a tennis story about a place called Somerville, where the courts are from hell, literally spawned from hell. This place, if that was hell, this place is kind of like the Sahara Desert. I don't know. I don't know how to put an accurate comparison. It is like the second hell. It's not as bad, but still horrific. Their clay courts are horrible. It's the second hardest place to play tennis, I would say. And I'd played there so many times. Earlier in the year, I'd played there, and I just made a meal of everything. I'd played some horrible matches. Played a horrible doubles match against this team, and we lost in I think 3 sets, and we know we shouldn't have lost. And then I played a singles match that I played horribly, and then flash forward a few months and we're back there. It's a similar story to 2016 where I had to go back and play tennis again there, and except this time I was having to play there again. And look, I wasn't looking forward to it. It wasn't great, but I had a plan. I was very determined this time around, and I knew the court well enough by then to know that what I had to do and how I had to play my tennis. And I settled into the match very nicely, and it turned into the greatest doubles match I'd ever played in my life, because it was just a lot of high percentage tennis, fair few winners, and just a lot of forcing errors from the opponent, and I rarely missed in the match. And it was a great match I was playing. We were up a set in 5-2, just to boast myself. And we were just putting it together so beautifully, my doubles partner Will and I. And I had a smash to win the match. It was the easiest smash ever. And it was very close to the net though, the ball. And I went in there and I got very overconfident. And it's very similar to the last story I told, where the guy had the smash to win and he hesitated on it. This wasn't as bad as that. This is just kind of like a bad miss, but it was still on match point. You don't want this. And I'm thinking, oh God, this is the tennis gods. They're coming back at me because he's hit this terrible smash. Both players were out of court. It wasn't like they were both, ready to return this, or any of them were there. They were both out of court. Even if I just drop shot it, we would have won. And I go to smash it and I just whack it into the net. 2 centimeters, away from the net. Just a terrible decision of shot. I rushed everything, there's a lot of things I could have done differently in that moment. And all of a sudden we're in this massive battle just to keep the match alive. And it goes to 5-4, and I know, I'm not throwing away the best match I've ever played. But it was very nerve-wracking. It was horrible. It was the worst moment, You realize that if you don't get your act together, this could be the biggest choke of your life. And it's a tough pill to swallow. I'm not going to lie. It is a very tough pill to swallow. So I just had to keep it together. Had to keep my mind focused, and after 5 juices when I'm saving for the match, we finally grinded out the win, and my God, the biggest relief ever. And yeah, it was a really good match. Apart from that fucking miss on match point, it was a great doubles win. And the singles, I don't know what happened. I guess I was mentally exhausted from just having to survive in that match. And we went on to the singles, and I think I lost at love and won. I was in horrific form at the time. Singles form was horrific. Doubles form was horrific. I don't know how I pulled it together to play the best doubles match, but I was just very determined for that doubles, and I wasn't really ready for a singles. I knew that my doubles partner would win his singles easily. So the pressure was lifted so much, and I just played a terrible singles match. I was very angry with my performance, but it didn't matter because we got the 2-1 victory and our 3rd win of the season in the 3rd last round of the season. It was a shocking season for us. And then I think in the 2nd last round of the season, the very next week, I wasn't playing, and we were playing a team that had only lost once in the season. And we were just like, oh yeah, okay, we'll see what happens here. And Will and Rob, the other 2 players in my team, just went down to our local tennis club and put on a freaking masterclass. We dropped 10 games for the entire 3 matches we played. They won the doubles 6-3, 6-2. I think my doubles partner, my mate Will won his singles 2-1, and then my mate Rob won his singles 3-2, and it was like, holy crap. We could actually, if we slip into 4th place and we play these guys in a semi-final, you never know what can happen. And they were the best team of the year. They had won, I think, 11 times and lost once. So just crazy stuff. A team that only won 3 times, getting their 4th win against the top side. But that was a precursor of things to come, and that's what I'm getting to. And I'm about to tell the second part of the story in 1 minute because my nose is stuffed. So we go down to the Mount Martha Tennis Club, and all we have to do, the local tennis club, is beat the toughest team of that year. That's all we have to do. It was a tough day. The other players on my team, Will and Rob, fought their hearts out in the doubles match, but just went down, saving match points in the 2nd set, and then they dropped it the 3rd set, and I was just like, wow, this team is so freaking tough. This team, the Mount Eliza team we were playing that day, they were impossible. And then I think it was my turn to play singles. I was out of form grossly. I was just trying my hardest to get myself back into form. I was changing techniques, doing dumb shit. You don't change your technique. I can tell you that right now. Dumbest idea ever. 1 moment. Do not change your technique ever. Just keep the same technique you have, because that's what I've done over the years, and you just don't progress as a player. I lost 6-love in the singles match that day, and I was throwing everything into the match. I lost. I know what you're thinking. How can someone lose 6-love, and throw everything into the match? I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Jesus, it was a tough one. It was really tough. I played so poorly, and I had to win. I actually had to win, or else we are gone from the season, and we wouldn't make finals. And I've never missed finals in my history of playing tennis on Saturdays in team competitions. Never missed the finals. Almost missed the finals 1 year, but up until then I never missed the finals. And after losing 6-love, I grabbed this water bottle. It was actually glass. The water bottle was a cheap one. One of those cheap glass water bottles you buy at a supermarket. I grabbed it and I paused the video. So after that intermission and break from the recording, I grabbed my water bottle, threw it as hard as I can against the pavement, and it just smashed into a million pieces. Very bad. They're very bad, you know. I'm just glad no one was there watching. Probably one of the most embarrassing moments in my life, playing tennis. I was very angry. Hard for me to control my anger at that moment, that's for sure. I'd officially lost it. And sadly, we were 100% sure that was the end of our season. We'd had a pretty bad season anyway, so we didn't really care. But I was just disappointed that I'd cocked it. The other player lost his singles, so we went down 3-0 that day, but I was still disappointed that I didn't even freaking win a game. Like, you can't be serious. The player I was playing was pretty decent, but I knew I could battle against him, like properly have a massive match against him. And it was shit. Anyway, oh well, we were in the clubhouse, basically just like, well, that's it. And then the guys we were playing against, like, there's still a chance you could make it. And we're like, there's still a chance. And then I think I'm on my way home and I get a text and from one of my teammates, and he goes, the other team pulled out. And I'm just thinking, what the hell? Because on the same day, there's another team from Frankston who are battling just to finish fourth. All they have to do is show up to finish fourth, essentially. This Frankston team didn't even show up for their match. I don't know what the hell happened. They didn't have enough players. They didn't have any players. And all they could do was show up and win one rubber, I think, to get into the top four, and make the finals. And they don't show up, and we make the final four. And we're just like, what the hell is happening? Like, we've won 4 matches for the season, and we're in the final four, up against the team we beat the previous week, who have finished the season with 11 wins, 2 losses, and 2 washouts. And 1 washout, I think. It was just insane. This is a video of me basically previewing the semi, and this was on Elimination Finals AFL weekend, so a very exciting weekend. So here's this video. It's the Impossible Challenge, this semi-final matchup tomorrow. It's Randler. After 15 rounds, 11, 2, 2, 30, 129%, 114 points. Plays a team with 57 points, 88%, 4 wins, 9 losses. And to the best part about finals, that shit means fuck all now. That shit means fuck all now. It's time for the fucking finals in the first semi. Hell yeah, boyo. Jesus Christ, man. This is so exciting. They have all the fucking pressure on them. They have so much fucking pressure on this game. If they lose to us, what a waste of a dominant season. Such a dominating season. We're one of 2 teams to beat them, though. Except that result means nothing as well. We just got to go out there and be fierce as fuck. Holy shit. Could you imagine getting 11 wins, 2 losses, and then coming up against a team with 4 wins and 9 losses? We can do it. I reckon we can do this. Let's fucking go. Very cringe, but I was just like, could we do this? Like, imagine if we did it. We beat these guys so easily the week before, so we had that up our sleeves. We had lost to them another time earlier in the season, but the fact of the matter is, my 2 other teammates were in really decent singles form. Their doubles form was not bad, but they're not really doubles players. None of us are doubles players. That's probably one of the reasons why we only won 4 matches for the season. 4 rubbers, group wins. And I just really wanted to play the semi, but I knew that it'd probably sabotage our chances if I played in that semi. So it was really tough for me, but I had to essentially pull out from the entire squad for a semi-final, which is not fun. I didn't really want to, team of 3s is a bad idea, is all I can say with Saturday morning tennis. You want to only be in a team of 2 and have an emergency. You don't want to have a team of 3, because then once you get to the finals, it's just a jostling for positions, especially when it's 3 singles only players in the team and there's only 2 singles matches in the semis and the finals. So it's not what you want. We play in this semi. We go to this beautiful tennis club. It's Ranelagh in Mount Eliza, Victoria, Australia. If you ever get the chance to go to Ranelagh, it is one of the nicest places to play tennis. Anyway, especially around AFL finals time in Australia. Gee whiz, my nose. And I was just pumped to go there and watch. I didn't really care. I knew I wasn't going to play. Oh, geez, this is far out. The only chance of me playing was if we won 2-0 or we lost 2-0 and we played just a fun doubles match after, and I just got to have a hit there. That was the only chance of me even playing tennis out there that day. So it was like, I was kind of walking in like, this is shit. This is the first semi-final I'm not even going to play. But I knew I was in horrific form. Anyway, we play the matches and we get a win to start the day. Will, my doubles partner, teammate, what am I trying to say? He gets his win in the third set, 6-4 against their number 1 player. And we're like, I'm just thinking, holy crap, that's such a good start to the day. But we're pretty sure it's going to a doubles because on the other court, Rob is in the third set and he's down 1-4. And he's a bit sick, actually. He was under the weather that day. Very under the weather, really, when I think about it. And he's down 1-4 in the third, and I'm just watching, like, there's a clip where he goes, "It's not my day," and I'm just, like, on the court side. I don't know if I'm being a smart ass or... No, I was trying to urge him on. I was trying to get him across the line, and I'm like, nah, it is your day, Rob. This is the clip.
Yes, it is, Rob. Come on, mate.
And I don't know, that did nothing. For the record, that did nothing to help him get the win. But no, he just battled it, and he got the break back. And this is the bit where he gets the break back.
Yes.
So exciting. Very good stuff. And then it's match point.
It's too stressful. Yes!
Oh, Jesus. Good work, Will.
Oh, no.
We did it. A team with 4 wins, 9 losses, and 2 washouts for the year beats a team with 11 wins, 2 losses. And my maths is very slow, 2 washouts. Jesus Christ. Crazy year. Crazy year. That's very poor, how slowly my brain works out things. It was insane. I couldn't believe we won that semi-final. We shouldn't have even made the finals. The only reason we got there was from a technicality of a team pulling out, and we're in the grand final. And I was so excited, I grabbed a beer and drunk a beer while we played a doubles exhibition match. The guys we played against were so nice. They were willing to do a doubles, friendly doubles match straight after they lost 2-0. And they were willing to stick around and do a sausage sizzle. And, they were in their 30s, 40s, 50s. We were just young guys playing this Saturday morning men's. And, yeah, really good sportsmanship from them. Great blokes. I can't imagine how horrific that would be, only losing twice in a season and you don't even make the grand final. That would be fucking horrible. But we lost 9 times in the season and we made the grand final. It's fickle. All I can say is, all you have to do, if you've got a strong enough team and they're all singles players, all you have to do is get into the finals any way you can. Because anything can happen if you make the finals. Literally anything. Anyway, we made the grand final the next week and lost very easily. Oh no. Here it is. It's covered in dust. It definitely is covered in dust. I've got my grand final on the week after. And I have a training session where I think I was using Nadal's technique. This is the dumb. Don't copy techniques, guys. Use your actual technique. Don't even if it's not working for you, get a coach. Get the coach to refine it. Don't start moving to different techniques. But I was training with Nadal's techniques. We were playing on clay, the worst clay courts and the third worst clay courts in the world. The next day in Mornington, where they do ITF matches. In fact, Mark Pullmans has won a couple of ITF titles there. Anyway. And that's where we're playing our grand final. It's horrific tennis courts. They're not good at all. We hadn't even played there all season, not once. And we're playing the most battle-hardened team who had Ontakar as their club surface. So, very tough stuff. And I just don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. We get there. I made the mistake of hyping myself up for the match. Terrible idea. And playing some crazy music before the match. You never do that before a grand final. You got to keep it as low key as possible. You don't play hypey music to get yourself G'd up, especially if you're playing that day. I think in the semi I played myself hype up music, and I wasn't playing, so it wasn't as bad. You got to keep it as low key as possible, especially when it's a big game like that. We were just kind of happy to make the grand final, and I think that was the problem because we weren't even meant to even be in the grand final when we got there. And we were just beaten by a far more experienced team. But the day before the granny in training, I was training the house down. I was getting every ball back. I was hitting insane winners. And my teammates kind of came to the conclusion, that was kind of my fitness test to see, or my form test to see if, I'd be able to play a singles match in the grand final. And they knew that I was part of the team and they couldn't. I don't know about they knew that they couldn't tell me not to play. But they'd seen enough. I don't know. I guess they saw enough. And I'd seen enough. I felt amazing. And I played the grand final and I couldn't get a ball in the court. And it was horrible. I was playing the same guy I lost 6-love to that I mentioned earlier in the video. It was horrific. This has been a long-ass video. My God, I didn't mean it to be this long. 23 minutes so far. It wasn't fun. It really wasn't fun. And we went down. I think I lost 1 and 2. I think I lost 6-2, 6-1 or 6-1, 6-2. I think it was 6-2, 6-1. And in these grand finals, I always hit a shot that's one of the best shots I've ever hit in my life early in the grand final. I get hyped. I think I did it in 2017, and when I lost my grand final, that's a story for another video. Don't worry, I'll tell all my stories. Far out. And in this one, I hit one of those, Gael Monfils type shots where at Wimbledon against Karen Busta, where he hits the backswing drop shot and it bounces over the net again from the other side. And I was like, I did that early in the match, and the dude's just like, great shot. And I'm like, what the fuck? Couldn't believe I hit that. It was a defensive return that I shanked, and that's how I did it. So even the best shot I've ever hit in my life, one of them was a horrific hit off the racket. And I was trying all these different things with my game, and it just wasn't working that day. And I was devastated. And credit to my teammate Will, he was a set and 5-2 down. He was getting wrecked by a much better player, and he pulled it together. He brought it back to 5-all, and then lost 7-5. And so we went down like 6-2, 7-5. He was about to lose 6-2, 6-2, and I lost 6-1, 6-2. So it was a tough day, losing 2-0, and I could tell my other teammate was probably pissed off that he didn't get to play a singles, and I was disappointed and regretful that I thought I was in good form, and I probably wasn't. But those courts are so fucked up that nobody could have played. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a freaking idiot. I don't know. It was a terrible day, but to make matters worse, as soon as we got off the court, they gave us these runner-up trophies, and I fucking knew that they had the winners' ones next to the runners-up, probably sitting in a car outside the parking lot. And they couldn't give us the winners ones because we lost, so they gave us the runners up. It's so horrible when you come so close and you have such an average season, but you somehow make the grand final, and it's like, how the hell after such a long season? And it was a long season. We were going to so many places to play, so many dire, dead places. Tennis isn't a popular sport where I live, and there's just no one there. You're playing a doubles match and then a singles. And it's just, I remember so many shitty afternoons where we'd lose and we got a long drive home, and it's like, after all that, we somehow make the grand final and we get wrecked that quickly. But it happens, it's tennis, and that was probably one of the darkest days in my life playing tennis, not gonna lie. Losing that grand final very quickly, but runners-up trophy. Got the runners-up trophy. And in footy, runners-up trophies just get thrown in the garbage. But in tennis, for 4 wins in the season, you shouldn't have even made the finals. A runners-up trophy, it does the trick. Anyway. Someone freaking probably watching thinking I'm insane, my dad. That's the end of the video, finally ending it. For God's sakes, that's a long video. Not as interesting a story probably as last time, but I figured I should tell this story because, it's an interesting part of my tennis life. Last year when I played this long ass match, it was crazy. A crazy long match. What am I fucking saying? I meant long ass season. That's when you gotta end the video. Cheers guys for watching. I will be back with another tennis story. I always have my tennis stories. I have plenty of them. Don't worry about that. No, I don't actually. I only have a few left, but I hope I can get these tennis stories out of the way actually, because they're terrible. Yeah, I figured I'd film this. I'm on a break from my main channel, so I figured I'd film this, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you smash the like button. Gee whiz, oh my god. And if you made it to here, that's incredible considering this is a 27-minute video and there's bugs everywhere. I'll be back on the Saint Sam channel. Obviously no footy left, so I'm basically covering tennis over the summer and November. And it should be good, but I'll be back with more footy content when the footy returns. And yeah, the end. Runners up.